Blackstone presents The Abolition of Sex, How the Transgender Agenda Harms Women and Girls by Kara Dansky. This book is read by Kara Dansky. To the parents who watch in silent agony while a vicious industry works relentlessly to annihilate their children's bodies and lives. Sex. The differentiation between male and female, determined by whether an X-bearing sperm or a Y-bearing sperm fertilize the X-bearing ovum, which determines the type of sexual and reproductive organs that develop, and the biological differences between females and males. They literally stopped recognizing every actual single woman and girl, every female person. And they told us that we were now all an identity instead of a sex, a psychology instead of physiology. That was what female now meant. So that men could say they were women. And they did. Hundreds of thousands of them did. There was no single word for actual females. We weren't allowed one. Our word was reallocated to men. We had to talk about ourselves as people with cervixes or menstruators, and we had to agree that biology wasn't the real difference between the sexes, identity was. One by one, every reference to biological sex was replaced in every law with references to identity, until the law had erased any connection with female biology from pregnancy, childbirth, motherhood. Everything became something that applied to both men and women because it was forbidden to have real references to sex. Stating that only females were women was enough to lose your job or even be charged with a crime. Failing to agree with a man that he was a woman was enough to be ostracized, censored, or threatened with legal action. Men took over women's sports, institutions, groups. Men represented us in every level of society, calling themselves women. There were no words to distinguish ourselves from these men. Everyone could see the female sex were becoming unspeakable people, unspoken of. You weren't allowed to acknowledge our separate existence from male people. Men committed crimes, and society said women did it. You could never escape a man because he could follow you into any public space by identifying as female. People were very, very afraid to tell the truth. Many hundreds of children lost their reproductive organs trying to become the other sex. It was a very dark time. Posted in 2020 by a woman in the British online forum Mumsnet under the pseudonym Barracker. Introduction. The quote, Transgender Delusion, Observations of a TERF. In March of 2021, a person named Rachel Levine.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?